What is it to be alone? What does it mean to lack companionship? Can you be in a room full of acquaintances and still seek for connection? Can you be in the presence of friends and still feel the long arm of loneliness? Perhaps you know this feeling already. What would it take for you to feel a true, unblemished connection? Who would need to stand before you? Could it be you? Could you be the one to stand by you and walk you through the lonely nights? Could you be the one you rest your weary head on? Could you be there for yourself, a rock in which you rely on? Past, deep present, and far into that imagined future. I walk with myself. From somewhere inside, I look out. I watch as that which is outside of myself changes that which is within me. As I'm influenced by the infinite radiant things abound, I'm calmly in an empty room, but I'm by no means alone. A face that's stoic and serene, aloof and pondering, yet inside there's a spectrum turned to 10. The range is immense, and I shift from end to end, yet I'm never far from any given point. There's so much to consider, and so many perspectives to get behind. But at the end of it all, it's just me. Me and me and me. In that di, tri, tetra, penta, that apeiron is the key. It's a key to understanding the endless possibilities and choices that can be made, and the many ways to live this perplexing life. So I walk with myself, and I'm not alone. There are so many versions of me up and down this spectrum. The aloof and objective me versus the pained and subjective one. The calculating and purposeful one versus the thoughtless and impulsive me. And so many more. From this peanut gallery, I watch. I watch as the next participant enters the arena, looking for the thumbs up. They're all invested in this game, and they play to win. They were born from this arena. There's a me that always sits above them, quietly watching with true enthusiasm and interest in how it will all turn out. What will be the score at the end? What picture will have been painted? Who will I have been? The world has influence that can't be ignored. From the constant social engineering in the media to the pressures placed upon us by our peers. They all add up to one single understanding. Most of your life has never been your own. Your friends sway your likes and dislikes. Parents and teachers steer you into a particular future, one they're familiar with, so they have a relevant gauge in which to judge your progress. Social media and the ever-growing need to connect lead you to strange and enlightening experiences, sometimes unpleasant. But how often do you follow your own heart? And if you do, how much of your heart is truly yours? Can you still feel all the strange and unusual thoughts and subtleties of your original perspectives? Are you still in touch with those unique ideas in your imagination? Have you ever wondered if they meant anything more than just passing thoughts. I used to not ponder these things either. I found no use in such trivialities. They were distractions from the real goal: acceptance. I did away with the proper grammar and the insightful ramblings. I shed free from the subtle and sensitive dimensions of mind and body. I gave in to that shallow and heartlessness of the world. And then I found myself. Or rather, I chose to acknowledge the me who sits so close, but only ever watched. I looked and I spoke to myself. And I allowed myself to hear the true and honest answers. And it broke me. In that lonely and broken place, I only had myself and truth to confide in. I couldn't turn my face away from myself. I had nowhere to run except forward, eyes up, cleansed in the burning fire of recognition of myself. But I found a spectrum. I thought I was one thing, and that I had to find that singular passion or point in which I could explode into greatness. But I found a colorful and boundless spectrum. Perhaps in this moment, I'm sullen and remembering the past and all of my tragic mistakes. Perhaps I then find solace in forgiving myself and begin to laugh at who I was. And then shame for laughing at things I may not have been the victim of. And then laughing at the things that I was the victim of. And even then, I just laugh at the idea of being alive. All the while, I watch myself transition between so many different states of mind. So many versions, so many states to experience. Oftentimes, as moments pass by, I imagine so many other ways I could have chosen to be. And I find amusement in the decisions I've made. Watchful of my changing nature. Interested in my own evolution. Excited to see where this journey takes me. In mild frustration with my inability to slide back and forth across time. But in that frustration is a key to unlocking so many more versions of myself. That frustration places a spell of shame on my previous selves, castigating them for being comfortable with the present, pushing them forward into never-ending introspection. And even though it pains me to turn away from pleasant moments, I know that this is just a dream, and that there's so much more waiting, just out of reach. So I walk with myself. My feet are on the ground, but I'm always slightly somewhere else. I may seem aloof, but only because I see little promise in little conversations. I embrace the spectrum. I can by no means settle into a singular being. I only see diversity, and I'm only interested in that whichever changes, even within myself. And seated at the top of this charade is all of me, in overwhelming vastness and undeniable presence. I thought it was hidden in the shadows, but realized it was because I was the one in the dark, and the shadow was cast by the luminescence of truth. I was in the dark. So now I move forward, and I rarely look back. It's becoming more difficult to see the past, because my true self will not be found in who I was. Back there only lies forgiveness and understanding. I can only be found here and now. How amazing it is to see it all play out. To see who I've become. So strange. And to still reach for perfection. knowing I'm not alone. Thanks for watching the video. I'll be reading and analyzing my book From Then Till Now on Wednesdays, and Peace of Mind on Saturdays, as well as my quote conversations throughout the week. If you enjoyed this video, don't be afraid to like and subscribe, so you can visit my channel each time I provide more content, and engage in the comments so you can share your thoughts with me. Have a good day.